Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to New Cities. I certainly hope you're having a fantastic day whenever and wherever you happen to be, because I am excited to be back. There are a few small changes since the last episode. I mentioned that placing a bunch of the roads in the new areas that we laid out was going to be very tedious, so I went ahead and decided to do it between episodes. I also went in and placed a bunch of parks and ballparks. The police stations are in there, libraries are in there, schools are in there, and we are going to just speed things up and let this whole space just grow, because I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. It's going to look really cool having all of this built up. Density-wise, honestly, density-wise, this is the highest density I think we've had so far. And this area over here having a bit of density is really cool as well. So we're getting a really good spread of density throughout all of this space, which is exactly what we want to be doing. So I'm really looking forward to seeing just all of this space grow. We still have a lot more still to zone. We've got all of this space up here that needs to get some residential zoning, but I wanted to just build this area up a little bit just so we can see, oh, what have we got here? Social policy. Several charities have come together to advocate for more support for the city's poor. We now have social services. Okay. So that will be in here. Reduces crime in an area and serves the needy in an area as well. Okay. Needs to be placed in denser areas. So what we could do is probably place it somewhere like here. Doesn't seem like a bad spot for it. So we'll throw it right there. And that will reduce a bit of crime in that space. This area is apparently not dense enough for it, so I'm assuming over this way probably will be. Crime is honestly not terrible in a lot of these spaces. It's not great up here though, so let's go ahead and just place some social services there and there as well. And that will hopefully reduce crime in those couple of spaces there and just make it a little bit more pleasant to be in those neighborhoods. I will say, I'm really pleased with how this is all looking. I'm looking forward to seeing the tide come in a little bit and, fill up the land a bit more so that, this all just looks a bit better and it looks more like the roads are hugging the coastline there, which it kind of does already, but I'm just looking forward to seeing it all build up, to be totally honest. That's honestly where I'm at. I'm thinking as well, what we could probably do is go through and put a police station here, and put a police station there, and probably a police station right about there. And that'll probably give us pretty good coverage for all the new spaces going in. Then in terms of libraries, I'm thinking a library there. I'm thinking a school right there. I'm thinking we do a school there with another library. And then I'm thinking up this way, we do a library and a school there. And that'll give us pretty good coverage for education in those places. I think a school could go here with a library around the corner. And I think, again, coverage-wise, that's probably pretty good. We do want to get a bunch of parks in here, though. So what I'm going to do is say, put a ballpark there, and there, and there. We're going to just go crazy with ballparks in that area. We'll go for one in there. And honestly, I'm probably just going to put a bunch of ballparks into all of this space, because they're crazy good at getting rid of pollution. So I don't see why I wouldn't place a bunch of them, to be totally honest. They are really good at getting rid of that pollution. So we'll just put a bunch of them in a bunch of different places. Monetarily speaking, we can't afford to do this, so no complaints there. And it should make the areas a little bit nicer to just be in. It should make it just a bit more pleasant is what I'm thinking. So let's go for there and there for a couple of swimming pools. We'll go for there as well. And you know what? Let's go ahead and start zoning all of this. We actually have a bit of demand for the multi-zoning, which exists. Look at that. It's actually starting to build. That's fantastic. Oh, that's really cool. It's going to be great seeing this area actually get built up. And then honestly, I might break my rule and put a little bit of zoning along this avenue, because again, the city hall is just way out in the middle of nowhere right now, so might not be a terrible idea. Oh, I also did all this area up here. I totally forgot about that. But let's focus on the areas done here first. Let's go ahead then and just start filling up all of these new areas. I'm just really excited to see what happens at 100,000 people and beyond at this point, because we didn't get there with that first city that we did in this series. You know, we got like 50,000 people and it was cool, but I want to see what, 100,000 people. I honestly, I'll be totally honest with you. I'm really sitting here. I'm like, I kind of want to see when the game breaks, because I've mentioned it a few times, the game is a work in progress. It's not finished. It is not fully optimized, etc., etc., etc. And one of the first times I played this, it sort of just started crawling quite early on. The frame rate just sort of died, if I'm totally honest. And, it's a game very early in development, so that makes sense. I've played a lot of early access games. I've played a lot of early access games that run a lot worse than this does. So, that's just the reality of early access games. I kind of just want to see when it's going to stop working. Like at what point is it going to be like, yeah, man, I ain't done yet. I want to see when the game basically does that. And honestly, I want the error message to say exactly that. I want the screen to go black and it just to fade in with like a really judging, like a face that's just really judging me. And it's actually not, that sounds awfully like one of those screamer videos that were on YouTube in the mid 2000s and very early 2010s. Now that I think about it, that might terrify me. Anyway, I basically just want the face to be like, what are you doing? What do you think you're doing? What's your idea here? I want it to be like that, basically. I'm probably asking a lot, but that's what I want. I feel like more games need to put character into their error messages. Can you imagine, like every time you break a game, it just starts silently judging you? You'd probably just give up after a while. Like, or you're playing a really hard shooter or like, I don't know, Dark Souls or something. And at some point, like you die for the 100th time and the game's just like, are you sure? Like, would you rather I just, turn off? It just comes up. It's like, would you rather we just automatically close the game at this point and stop you playing it for a while? Because you seem to be struggling. I'd feel so judged, but I mean, rightly so. I'm terrible at those kind of games anyway, so rightly so, honestly. But, I don't know. How do we even get onto that? Oh yeah, I'm trying to break the game. That's how. Whatever. That's neither here nor there. The good news is, with all this zoning going in, we should be able to get to 100,000 people relatively soon. I don't think it's going to be too hard to do that. In terms of things like pollution, let's have a little look. We do have little pockets of it here and there, but for the most part, with all the parks that we have, we are totally fine. Crime-wise, a little bit rough over there, but it's not too bad. There's some pockets of crime that could be better. Education is honestly fine. Prosperity is pretty good, especially like these areas here. It's quite prosperous. Value is honestly fantastic. Density is it's getting there. Traffic is, it could be better, but it's honestly not awful from what I've seen. I don't think I've seen any point where the traffic looks genuinely terrible, so no complaints here. We're almost 90,000 people with still plenty of space left to build. So I think we can quite easily get to 100,000 people very, very soon, which is honestly quite exciting. Like I said, I'm kind of excited to see how that turns out. Almost 92,000 people at the minute, and I think that'll probably just keep growing the more we the higher the density gets around here. So it's very exciting to me, if I'm totally honest with you. I'm also thinking that I want to go in here and I want to change this road here to be a boulevard, and then this road here could be a boulevard as well. I feel like that road through there does need to be a boulevard, and then maybe this road here. Well, no, that's probably fine, just having that boulevard go to that like big intersection there. We could actually continue it straight through up to the other boulevard. That probably wouldn't be a terrible idea. So it kind of runs straight out to the water there. We could maybe link these two boulevards together here into like sort of a larger sort of main road around the center of everything. That doesn't seem like a terrible idea either. And then maybe link these two together as well. So there's kind of like a big vertical boulevard there. We don't have too many we have no vertical boulevards actually, so that might be something we want to look into. In fact, let's do just that. Let me pause while I do this because I don't know how much the game's going to like me doing it this way. But we're going to do a big boulevard up there and a boulevard going down to there as well. So that whole section there surrounding the commercial stuff. Oh, we just got the one-way roads because we just started getting apartments. That's beautiful. Oh, that's really exciting. Okay, so we are growing. That's good. Really can't complain there. Oh man, that makes me really happy actually. I love unlocking things in this game. I don't know why. It feels like an accomplishment. The game doesn't do it. It's just a little thing in the corner pops up. It's like, yeah, well done, bud. It's just, I don't know. I feel like I'm doing things. I really do. I don't know. There's something about it. The game's like, it's fairly simple, you know, the little pop-up. It's nothing, it's not super intrusive or anything, but it's just like, well done, bud. You know, you go, fella. I like it. Anyway, let's go ahead and not do what I just did there, actually. Because what I'm thinking is I mentioned this a couple of episodes ago. I want to do this kind of thing where we have a bit more zoning space in the middle of everything. Unfortunately, that is going to get rid of some large zoning that we just had there. But it is going to give us just a little bit more commercial overall. Oh, what is going on there? We might need to fix some of the roads in there because they are looking a little bit worse for wear. What is going on with you? What is this mess? There we go. Did it do that anywhere else? It doesn't look like it did. Oh, it did it there as well. Did that fix it? Get rid of whatever? Ooh, dear. All right, that seems to be resolved, I guess. Let's get the boulevard and just do that. And that fixed it. Anywhere else it did that? It doesn't really look like it, so that's okay. But yeah, doing this just gives us a little bit more in the way of just commercial zoning. We can just put a bit more commercial on those roads. And honestly, we could go into here as well. Thinking about it, I was going to keep that little bit open, but we don't really need to do that. We could do the mixed use zoning, actually. Just thinking about it. I think I will do that just because it'll be something a little bit different for the area. And it'll just get a bit more residential in there too. I don't imagine it's going to be quite as interesting. You know, I think it'll definitely be, it'll look a little more like apartments and stuff like that, but a bit of mixed use zoning. I love the idea. That's another thing. I don't know if I've played any other city builder that has like mixed zoning, you know? So that is really cool to me. You know, having that in there, that is a really, really cool thing that I've not really seen done in another city builder. Factories, are they building yet? Nope. No, they are not. Okay. Well, fair enough. That's, you can't have everything, I suppose. Can't have everything, but that's all right. They'll build eventually, I'm sure. You know, in time we'll maybe have a factory. You know, hopefully someday, possibly. There's always a chance. Let's also do this. Just thinking about it, because we could, since we're not zoning those main avenues, we can zone these little roads here and still have buildings alongside the avenues, which I think will be kind of nice. So we'll do just this the whole way up, and then we'll put, I don't know, probably just, again, mixed zoning on there, because the mixed zoning is actually building, you know, it's building surprisingly quickly. Like, it's not, you know, it's not all just instantly popping up the way residential does, but it's building is what it's doing. And also, speaking of residential, we're almost 95,000 people, which is all sorts of crazy. Like I said, I want to see when the game just says no. I want to see at what point it's like, man, no. Then these little bits down here as well. I think this will look really nice though when it all builds up. I really do. I think it's going to look absolutely fantastic is what it's going to look. Still no factories though. I really don't know what to do with those. I wonder if putting like a boulevard in there would help. Like if we do like that. Does the dense road help the factories at all? It doesn't. I mean, they don't care, do they? Just like, nah, man. Why would we care about a little bit of boulevard? And rightly so, to be fair, you know. They're just not interested in being here, I guess. Let's give them like, let's de-zone it for a second, I guess. Let me see. So go here, go to there, do this. Just de-zone all of that. So it's all gone. We go in with an avenue. We'll extend it to there. And, I don't know. We could put the factories at the water. Maybe they want, like, a nice area for the factories or something. So, let's do this. We'll have this sort of go across there. And we'll have it go across there as well. And then we'll have it go to there. And down to, like, there, I guess. And I'm not going to connect it right down to there. I'm not going to do that. But if we do like, you know, something like this and then throw, I don't know, just some roads at it, I guess, just to see what we can maybe do here. See if we can maybe get the factories actually building down by the water. So something a bit like that seems okay. Something kind of like that seems okay. That's maybe a little bit close to the water though. We could do, I guess, something a bit like this as well. So it kind of, you know, we have like some nice stuff going on. I'm using avenues for this. I shouldn't be. It's supposed to be normal little roads there. Let's do, I don't know, something like this as well. Something a bit like that. We'll go to here. And that should be fine, right? That seems like a decent little bit of space for hopefully a decent number of factories. I think we'll just do this as well, just to kind of, you know, square it off a little bit. So up to there. And then maybe on this side we could kind of do similar, actually, just thinking about it. Let's have you continue to there. And then let's have you go to there and to there. I think that looks kind of cool, to be totally honest. I kind of like it. We'll bulldoze that bit. And yeah, let's just throw some factory zoning in there and see if it builds. I have my doubts. I'm not gonna lie. It's not worked thus far. I don't see why it would suddenly start working, but it is a more, I guess, desirable area. It's right on the water. So let's have a look. Anything at all? No, not a, not a single thing. They are just not interested, apparently. I'm really not sure why. I guess it's just, you know, the game, there's a bug or something, you know, that's fine. That's fine. It happens. It's just the way of it. I'll tell you what I will do. Let me de-zone that little bit, go to 2, go to avenue, and just connect it to there. And maybe that connection will help, you know? It'll be a little closer to where people live or something. But even with that, still nothing. Still just absolutely nothing. It's like, nope, no factories for you today. That's, again, that's fine. It's not the end of the world. Maybe someday, maybe there'll be like a little, a patch or something will fix it. Not the end of the world, doesn't matter too much. Let's go ahead and put in a few more of these ballparks, which, thinking about it, I have to imagine these will get nerfed. I have to imagine there's going to be a patch for this in the near future. I'm not complaining, by the way. I'm absolutely in love with the things. Just getting rid of pollution like this is fantastic. But I have to imagine that there's going to be a point where it's just like, you know what? They should probably not just get rid of pollution. I would imagine. I might be wrong, you know, maybe it is completely intentional. And if it is, fantastic. but I imagine that'll get fixed. Anyway, we'll throw some more zoning in there. We are very, very close to that 100,000 mark, which is really exciting. We're so close to it. Let me fill up all of this space before we hit that 100,000 though, just so all of this actually has got zoning and I don't forget to actually zone it. So all of you and all of this space as well. I think I missed a little bit there. I did. Okay, so those bits too. We don't want zoning on the avenues. We're trying to avoid doing that. And then we have these spaces on the side as well, which I think I want to get those zoned just right off the bat as well. So all of those are done. We have these ones down here, which are at a bit of a nice angle, which I really enjoy. Let's see. We could probably do a little bit of like retail just there. I don't think that would hurt too much. And then in here is just going to be, again, a bit of residential. Then over here is residential too. All of it's residential. That's all we're zoning, but that's fine. So all that gets filled up. Let's go ahead and run it. And honestly, that's got to be enough to hit 100,000 people. I imagine this area is probably going to be a little worse for pollution and a little bit worse for desirability, but that'll sort itself out. We'll get some stuff in there eventually to help with that. Same with density as well. Like density wise, I don't think this area is going to be quite as good. But again, it'll get there. It'll absolutely get there. Anyway, we are so close. We're 100 people off, and there we go. We get a hospital at 200,000 people. We just got the courthouse and suspension bridges. That's kind of cool. I don't know how oh, wait, how do these work? I have no idea how these work. Okay. Yeah, I have no idea how suspension bridges work, but that ties in with the, that's the water there. That ties in with the idea of doing a bridge that goes between like these two areas of land. So that's really cool. That is really, really cool. We got the courthouse, which means, so what does this do? More community, unemployment reduced, more prestige, and law is more effective. So what does this thing look like? Ooh. Oh, it's a really cool building. It won't go central, of course, as they usually don't. That's great. That's fantastic. Can I only, oh yeah, limited to one per city. Okay. Where do I want to put this then? Should we we could maybe make a little neighborhood for it. Like make a specific area for it, break the grid a little bit. Like in here, perhaps we go in and we say like, you know, let's bulldoze all of this. And then go in and say, you know, remove the zoning around here. Right, do a little something like that. And then, I mean, the courthouse will go, let me see here. What is this going to work? It is going to have to be at an angle. That is kind of the reality of it. It is going to have to be at an angle. I think. Am I right in saying that it has to be an angle? Let's just test that really quick. Courthouse, yes. Must be placed in denser area. Oh, well, that's disappointing. So it has to be like in here, basically. Which is a bit annoying, because I don't really want to put it in there. I can get it in like one of these spaces. That's apparently not dense. This area is dense enough. So maybe we clear out some space in here and we put a courthouse in there. And I guess we just rebuild that area. Or, you know what? We just got 100,000 people. We'll celebrate by bulldozing 2 neighborhoods, because that's how that works. We can turn these areas into something nice anyway, but I was hoping I could get the courthouse into these spaces. We cannot. So what we'll do is we'll go in, we'll bulldoze some roads. We can remove some zoning. We have some interesting looking roads there, actually. Just noticing they are very strange. Bulldoze. I think that fixed it. Actually, no. We still have some weird roads going on there. I think that might be from the cloning. Yeah, we have more weird roads here. Okay. That's fine. It's not the end of the world. It's not a big deal. I just wonder if that was maybe slowing the game down a bit more. Yeah, let's do an avenue up to there. Let's do, really has to be placed in a denser area. Seriously, because I deleted the density. It's like, no, man, you can't do that. All right. What if I do that? Can I then place the courthouse? I can, but it won't go on that road. Of course it won't. Of course it won't. Okay. Can I put it on like that road? Is that a thing? Okay, so I can put it on that little road. So I guess we do that. I guess we do like courthouse, and it's like going to be nicely surrounded by roads or something, which seems fine. We could do a little one-way thing here, actually. Like a little one-way. It's going the wrong way, actually, that one-way road. It's right-hand drive. I need to remember that. So we'll just like loop this around everything. So that seems kind of cool. And then what do we do behind it? I guess, oh, we could do a jail back there. We don't have a jail yet, but thinking about it, that would be a way to get one in here and maybe use the courthouse, because the jail reduces value in an area. But my thinking is like, while it does reduce value, we have a lot of things in. Maybe we add a bunch of things to this area to try and add value. That seems like the way we would counter that. We're also limited to one of these per city, which is fair enough. I think that's what we do. I think we try and counter the jail with more stuff, basically. So let's bulldoze, and can I get a jail like right on that road? Come on, stop doing this. Bulldoze you. Give me that road to there, and a jail can go right there. So yeah, that is gonna hurt the value of the area, but again, that's kind of okay. It's not a huge deal. It's just the way of it, and that is gonna be a way through that neighborhood, which is a bit annoying. I guess actually no. What we can do is one way and one way. So it's a way through from left to right, but that's about it. That seems okay. I feel like what we do is just go in and say, you know, here is a ballpark, you know, to cheer you up a little bit. You know, it'll just improve the value of the area or something like that. We'll do a ballpark there, and we'll do a ballpark there, and we could maybe do another one in the middle, but whatever. Yeah, so people aren't going to like having that right there, and I think value-wise, that is a drain on the immediate area. So if we get anything, so public pools, for example, if I had a public pool there and a public pool there and there and there and say there and there, the value of that area is suddenly not hit quite as badly. So that's not so bad. The ballpark doesn't do value. I think the public pool, oh, the small park does. The public pool adds a lot more value, though. So we'll do that kind of thing. The police station doesn't do value. We can't really do any of those. Library adds a bit of value. School adds a bit of value, too. So do a school up there, and then, yeah, there's actually almost no effect of having the jail in there. So that seems pretty good. That seems like the way to go. Have the courthouse and the jail right beside each other. That whole area, I hope, will just continue to improve, which is lovely. And then this over here, I guess we just turn those into like big park areas or something. I don't know what those are going to be. Those particular areas. But I mean, we have a lot of growth potentially going to be happening here. Looking at density, again, densest part looks to be right in there. This area is getting there a little bit. The factories just don't exist. Land value is pretty good around the factories, but they just don't exist. We could put farms in there. I don't know what else we would need. I don't think a school out here is going to do anything. I mean, if I put a school there, just out of curiosity, I mean, I'm just at this point, I'm just trying anything just to see, you know, have I done something? That's kind of what I'm wondering. Police station. Let's try that. I didn't think. Yeah, I think they're just a little funky right now. That's fine. Let's have a look at crime then. So crime up here is not great. Let's keep that pinned. And let's get a police station there and there to try and counter that a little bit. Let's get one there. And let's get one right there. And that will hopefully counter things a little bit too. So if we just run things, yeah. So crime is almost non-existent in those neighborhoods now. Where is crime bad? Crime is bad down here. So there, and another building is in the way. That's fine. We'll do there as well. What does that do for crime in that neighborhood? Definitely reduces it. Let's do there and see if that just completely eradicates it from that side. Not completely, but it does a pretty good job. It definitely does a pretty good job. Crime is a bit rough in and around there. That's the middle of everything. A little bit rough in the middle here, so police station there should help. And yeah, it's still quite rough in there, surprisingly. Let's do a police station right. Let's do right there. Let's see what that does. That definitely helped a little bit. Social services does add a bit of community to an area, so I guess let's do 1 and 2 and see if that just boosts that area really well for us. And then in terms of other things, I mean, education's already doing really well for itself, so not going to worry too much about that. I think honestly, the next thing we need to do is we need to unpin the police thing there. The next thing we need to do, I think, is honestly get an expressway going through here. And I'm realizing that leaving these big open spaces is kind of perfect territory for expressways. I don't think we can necessarily bring one right down here. But what we could do, for example, potentially, assuming I've done this right, I need to speed things up a little bit so I can see the dots. I think we could do something really cool here. So let's go to Expressway. We'll do a 3-lane. And we're going to experiment with this. I don't think this is necessarily going to work. But let's go from, let's see. Let me get like a top-down view. From like there to all the way up here, wherever the road ends. Let's go to about there. And then let's go from there all the way down to the bottom. This is actually really expensive to do. Good Lord, these are expensive. There. And that gives us a sunken highway the whole way up and down there. But what I'm noticing is, number one, the bridges are not level in the slightest, and they're also just really far apart. I'm not a fan of that. I think they need to be closer together, otherwise they look a little bit silly. Having like the big ridge of land in between them is a little bit weird. I'm not sure how I feel about that. So let's not do the big ridge of land in between them. So let's go back to the top-down view. Let's go to here. And I'm not really sure. Not sure how close I can get these. But let's do, instead of going the whole way up to the top, let's go to there. And then let's go. I feel like we could get these closer. I almost want to say these could be closer. Let's try one last time to go a little closer with this. Just to see if we can. So right there. In fact, we don't need to go the whole way up there to test that. So right there and right there. Is that a thing we can do? Bad angle. I'm not trying to do an angle though. I'm not trying to connect them. I'm trying to run them parallel to each other. Come on. So from there to there. Okay, that is not quite what we're looking for. So I can't go too close together. That's fine. Okay. So they are going to need to be a little bit apart from each other. But maybe not as far apart as we originally had them. So 2 there, and then 2, let's see. Right about there. Yeah, so there's no weird bit of land between them, so that's fine. I kind of like that. All right, let's run that right up to the top there. And this, again, this will be kind of interesting because it is going to be just a sunken highway kind of right up the middle of this whole stretch of road. And it is an express, you know, by name, the game calls it an expressway. I feel like expressway is a brilliant name in this instance because that is exactly what it's going to be. It's just the express. I mean, there's already roads can get you to where this is going. It's just the expressway. You know, that's why it's called an expressway. So we'll do that. And we'll do, let's see, we'll do that. Do they have a bit of road between them? Yeah, that's fine. I'm not really sure what way these are going to line up, though. I'm going to be honest. So let's bring that down. And let's run you into, let's see, run you into there if we can. Is that a thing we can do? It is. Run you, let's see. Run you to there. Is that a straight line? That is not in a straight line at all. Bulldoze you. Maybe bulldoze those bits as well. Let's see. So you come down, you go straight in there. And that is a straight line, so that's fine. And then what we'll do... Oh, wow, I got rid of all of that, didn't I? What we'll do then is go from here all the way down to about there. And that seems pretty solid to me. I mean, you know, the gap's a little bigger in this spot than it is in the other one, but that seems all right. If we connect that up, that might be a really great way to get up and down from the farms. Now that currently is way too steep. You know, that road in there is way too steep, but that's all right. I think what we do is instead of trying to connect it directly, we can run this out to there. We can run this to there, and we'll connect, you know, do some off-ramps and stuff like that. And I think that'll be better for everything. We could probably also bring this expressway right into the middle of everything here, which, you know, might be kind of interesting. Might be a bit weird. Probably a bit weird, but I kind of want to do it anyway. Because again, I'm kind of having fun with this. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of a cool idea, I think. So let's see. This needs to come over is what it needs to do. And it needs to come over in a nice straight line to there. And then this connects straight into it. We bulldoze you. And then we just flip that around, and that's fine. And then what do we need to do? So the other one can come over too many roads. Oh dear. We don't want too many roads. So you go to there and let's see. So this one's going to need flipped around once we place it, but that's okay. We'll run it to there. We'll run this to... Is that a straight line? I think it is. And then that should just connect there. Yeah, that looks okay. Flip you around. No, you don't get flipped around, actually. You get flipped around is what happens there. And again, you know, that's just a big section of expressway coming straight into the middle of everything, which will, I think, look kind of cool if we connect it up properly. The question is, how do we go about connecting it up properly? That's the important question, isn't it? And where do we connect it up to? Because it's slightly tempting to suggest that we bring it in and we just connect it to this road. You know, that is ever so slightly tempting. Because it'd be kind of easy. Just do that, you know? And then bring it... I mean, you know what? Let's just try it. Let's just try it. You know, I do a lot of this. I do it in a lot of different games as well. I do a lot of the whole, like, oh, we'll talk about this instead of just doing it. You know, let's just connect it and see what it does, right? See what happens. It's not the end of the world if it doesn't work, because we can just go and fix it. So, let's see. From here to there. And then bring you... Let's bring you down a little bit first. So down to there. And you know what? We'll just run this straight through, actually. So run it to there. Can I connect this straight down? I absolutely can. Or no, I can't, actually. That's not a thing it's going to let me do. I was hoping it would, because I could more easily do all of this. Is that the right angle? It is not. Okay, bulldoze and cancel. I need these to line up is what I need. I think that does. Yeah, so there we go. So that's not connected. You need to be going in the other direction. You need to be going in the other direction, and so do you, and so do you. So that's not all connected. You can now get onto that highway with some, like, a bridge here, which is a little bit weird. Can we fix that? Can we get something that's not a bridge? Okay, it's a bridge again. It's a bridge. All right, that's fine. You can still get onto it and do whatever you need to do. Let's, I guess, try and connect it up here. Is what we do. Try and connect it to, like, this section. So I wonder what the best way to do it would be. Could we go from here to there? I think that's going to be too steep. Could we go from here to there? We can. It does make it a... Oh, no, that is too steep as well. All right. So it does make it a bridge, which is quite weird. That is quite a weird thing to do, is make it a bridge, isn't it? That's also a bridge. That's really not what we're going for. Is there any... How do I go about doing this? Do I have to, like, manually do each level? I wonder if that's a thing I need to do. So bring it up like that, and then bring it up like, I don't know, like that? No, that doesn't work either. Okay, it's a little confusing. I'll be honest. The whole... I don't know, the highways thing, the expressways, it's a little confusing. Like, figuring out how to get off of there, I guess. That looks all right, though. So let's see. Let's do a 2-lane. And let's do... I really don't know. Because on one hand, I'm like, you know, why can't I just do something like that and automatically have the game do it? That apparently works. And then what if I go from there? Does that work? So that works. It's a bit weird looking. You know, if we're being honest, it's a bit weird looking, but it's not the end of the world if it's a bit weird looking. That could go to there. And then to there, and then to there. And I think that's all right. Again, a bit strange looking, but technically that does give us, like, reason for people to use the highway, right? So people are going to use that to get around. Yeah, so these guys are actually using the highway. So that is much, much quicker than the alternative. Like, they move so quickly on the highway. So that's a direct route into the middle of the city, which I think is pretty cool. So I like that a lot. And we can put buildings along it as well. We can actually fill up those middle spaces if we really want to. I imagine this area is going to get very, very busy. But I think that's kind of cool, having that, like, direct line out to the farms from the middle of the city. And the fact that we can connect it up to other roads later on, I think it's going to be really cool as well. So that, I think, is going to be the plan there, as well as continuing to grow the population and also building... Oh, wow, look at what happens when the water comes in properly. I do want to build a bridge across there for sure. 100% want to do that, but I'm really, really pleased with how that looks. I think that's fantastic. So yeah, let's I guess continue the idea with the highway and also probably deal with a lot of the demand that we have coming up, because we have a lot of residential demand at the minute. We need 200,000 people. We have a little bit of mixed zoning demand, which is there's still plenty of space where they can build, so we're not going to stress too much about that. But we still have some empty space up here. We still have a lot of space to build out to. We do want to build on the other side of the water as well. So I don't know. This feels like it's a city. You know, it feels like it's getting there. Density wise, still a lot of growth to go. You know, still a lot of growth to go, honestly. But we'll get there. We will 100% get there. I'm just wondering if I have to, like, I'm wondering if I maybe have to build higher density buildings on higher density roads. Let's just test that really quickly. If I put that there, I mean, they're not going to upgrade right away, are they? That's the thing. Like, they're not, but I don't know if I need to do that. you know? That's kind of the thing. Do I have to build like... I don't know. I really don't know. Let me bulldoze that just to get rid of those buildings so that they don't just sit there. Although some of them still are, but that's fine. They shouldn't be there, but whatever. I guess we're going to have to do some experimenting and, try and figure some things out. Not really sure why the factories aren't loading still. It's, again, not really the end of the world. Although it might be, thinking about it. Maybe that's why we're not getting denser buildings, because people don't have anywhere else to go and work. I didn't think of it that way. It's got me a little sad now that it might be the factories that are holding me back. It might be. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. I think things are still upgrading though, because the population is still increasing. So, yeah, I guess we'll figure it out. Either way, that's going to do us for today. Thank you so much for watching. It's been my absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.